In this video, we will cover PCI compliance and how it affects merchants, and how you can explain PCI compliance to merchants. First, what is PCI compliance? The card brands, Visa, MasterCard, Discover, and American Express, have established security rules and guidelines that all merchants of any size and type must abide by in order to accept their bank card brands. These rules are known as Payment Card Industry Data Security Standards, or PCI DSS, but the more common term for these rules is PCI compliance. These rules are designed to defend against hackers stealing bank card numbers and information from merchants. In recent years, there have been thousands of bank card data breaches where millions upon millions of bank card numbers have been fraudulently duplicated. Those duplicate cards are used to conduct fraudulent transactions at unsuspecting merchants. Some of those breaches have occurred at major retailers such as Target, Home Depot, TJ Maxx, and Marshalls. You may have seen these covered in the national news, or you may have been affected by them having your personal bank card replaced. While these large-scale data breaches make the national news, a little-known fact is that over 80% of all data breaches actually occur at small to mid-sized merchants. And when a small to mid-sized merchant gets hit by a hacker, the incident can shut a business completely down. Why? That business is responsible for paying the fines to the card brands, which in turn pay for all of those bank cards that were compromised to be replaced and sent to the cardholders. The cost can easily get into tens of thousands of dollars for smaller merchants and hundreds of thousands of dollars or even millions of dollars for larger merchants. If the merchant does not pay the fines, it can lose its ability to accept bank cards forever. So it is paramount that all merchants are PCI compliant. The first item of importance is that PCI compliance is mandatory for any merchant accepting bank cards for payments. Not only must merchants be PCI compliant, they must also register a PCI compliance certificate with their processors. If a merchant fails to do this, the merchant is assessed a monthly PCI non-compliance penalty fee. So how does a merchant become PCI certified? First, let's talk about our more common merchants that simply use a standalone bank card terminal provided by the bank card group. Unique IDs. Cashiers or other employees that access bank card information must have unique user IDs on those devices or systems that access bank card information so that the access can be tracked. Passwords. Merchants must use secure passwords that are not easily guessed on all devices and computers that touch the bank card process. Encrypt. All bank card transactions must be encrypted. All terminals and software provided by the bank card group are pre-programmed to encrypt bank card transaction information. For merchants using third-party software or point-of-sale systems, those third-party providers are responsible for encrypting the bank card information before it reaches the bank card group. Restrict access. If a merchant must store bank card information either physically or digitally, the access must be restricted. Need to know. Only allow employees or any other individuals access to bank card information on a need-to-know basis. Written policies and procedures. Merchants must document written policies and procedure for all persons handling bank card information. So let's recap the requirements for merchants using a standalone terminal provided by the bank card group. They must assign unique user IDs. They must use complex passwords not easily guessed by hackers. They must encrypt bank card transaction data, and this is checked off by simply using our PCI compliant terminal. They must restrict access on a need-to-know basis, both physically and digitally, and only provide access on a need-to-know basis. And finally, they must maintain written policies and procedures regarding bank card transaction information. For merchants using software or point-of-sale systems whereby bank card transactions are processed using a computer rather than just a standalone terminal, these additional PCI rules must be met. Firewall. If the merchant has computers at their business that touch their customer's bank card in any way, the merchant must have a firewall on those computers or network. Antivirus. Merchants must install up-to-date antivirus software on all computers that touch bank cards in any way. Scans. Merchants must contract with a third-party PCI-certified scanning company to have their system scanned on a quarterly basis. This is typically handled by the third-party system provider, but if not, the bank card group has a preferred provider that we can recommend. Once a merchant is confident all of these PCI compliance requirements are met, it must submit a PCI self-assessment questionnaire to its processor. The bank card group will provide the questionnaire, and it takes 10 to 15 minutes to finish. Once this questionnaire is completed and submitted, the merchant is officially PCI certified. This concludes the PCI compliance training. Please consult with your sales manager for more information.